Right, then I would like to look at Qiyas. Now, that's where we're going to focus our attention on now. Because Qiyas is it's a huge subject. But I've taken out certain points which will benefit us in some examples. Let's look at the lughatan, the language meaning, and in the istilahi, the technical, urfi meaning. طيب. Qiyas means to measure or to weigh. A scale is called miqyas, with a qaf, miqyas. Although the Quran doesn't use the word miqyas, it uses mizan, mawazin, but miqyas is also a scale. Now this word miqyas and qiyas is not used in the Quran, although the root letters is used, which is qaf, waw, and sin, qaus. And that is found in Surah Najm, verse 8, where Allah Ta'ala says, فَكَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى. And he came to two bows length. A qaus is a bow, qawsain is two bows. Where you're going to shoot an arrow from, and you can see the scale, the balance here, because if that bow tips and it's not equal, that arrow is not going to be straight. So we find that idea of a scale of balance here. فَكَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. Surah Najm, verse 8. The word adana, the word أَوْ in وَكَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى is a whole study on the let and the words أَوْ meaning or. And in cases like this, it doesn't mean or, it means bal, ba and lam. فَكَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ, he came two bows length, أو أدنى, or more. No, indeed it was closer. And that is the beauty of the language if you study it. It's actually um, tawqeed, such emphasis here that indeed the Prophet came so close. He was in the presence of his Lord, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have the word qaus, but and from there we find the word qiyas. If we look at the istilahi meaning, the technical meaning, then we have, I'll give you a brief definition and then we're going to go through the pillars which will clarify it more. Technically, it's when we have a case, let's call it case A. Now we have a new case, case B, and we look at the common reason why case A is halal or haram, and then we extend that ruling to case B. And that reason we call the illah. So basically it's case 1, extending it to case 2, because the reason for the ruling in case A will be the same in case B, and we get a hukum at the end. So that will be understood better when we look at the pillars of Qiyas, the arkan of Qiyas. And the arkan of Qiyas are as follows. Number 1, you have the asl, the original case. After we go through the pillars, I'll give you an example. We have the asl, the original case. For the original case, there are another 8 arkan that needs to be in place. And unless these 8 arkan are in place, you can't use that as an asl. Then you have the fara', fa, ra, and ain, the fara', the secondary case. Okay, which has emerged now. Say times have changed now. So transport might have been via donkey and horse then. Now a bicycle has come along. Now that's the second case. Now for the fara', the second case, there are about 4 to 5 conditions, shurut that need to be intact for that fara' to be valid. Then between the asl and the fara', we have the illah. And the illah is the effective cause or the very reason why case A has got the ruling of haram or halal. And the illah has again about 8 to 10 shurut conditions for it to be valid. And lastly, after the asl and the fara' and the illah is in place, we get a hukum, a legal ruling at the end. Okay, so we have now looked at least at the pillars of Qiyas. And now we'll go to an example and use these pillars to clarify To clarify an example via these pillars. So the example is, you'll find this in the Quran. You can look up the verse. It says, don't say وَلَا تَقُلْ أُفٍّ. Don't say uff to your parents. It's basically, don't be rude. Don't say bad words. Don't even make a bad sound to them. Do not say uff to your parents. Um, let's say that is our asl, our original case. So time goes on and someone sees someone hitting their parents. So we don't do that, but someone witnesses it. And they go to the Qadi or the Faqih or the Usuli and they say something has emerged in our community. This person hit his father, this young man. Now that will be the fara', the new case. And we'll look at it. Look at the original case. Don't say a bad word to your parent. Yes, someone hit their parent. Now we look at the illah. What, what is the cause? Or what is the reason why we should not say uff to our parents? And the ulama agree it is hurt or harm. You don't hurt and harm your parents. And therefore, we can extend the illah from the asl to the fara' because kicking them or hitting them is also going to cause them hurt and harm, and even more so. And therefore, we come to a hukum that it is haram to say uff to your parents. It's also forbidden to kick or hit them. And that is the conclusion we come to. And that is Qiyas. And Qiyas is such an important tool. As Imam Juwayni rahimahullah ta'ala says, the hukum, the legal ruling of the asl is eternal. It's always going to be there. It's not going to go away. It won't ever change. But the fara', the case, will be originated like the new case. And the illah will always be the common link between the two. In other words, Qiyas is a tool so that the lessons in the Quran and the Sunnah can be extended for all time until Qiyamah, because new cases are always going to come up.